With Barnstable Today, I'm Sarah Colvin. We've got a town council meeting this week, and we're going to preview it for you today. Joining me is our assistant town manager, Tom Lynch. Tom, good morning.
Well, Sarah.
How are you?
I'm just terrific, thank you.
All right, so town council back to business again this week. Let's take a look at the items on the agenda. There's some old business to take care of, and I know we've talked a couple of times about the multi-hazard mitigation plan, but let's just give a review on what that's all about.
Well, what specifically the multi-hazard plan is to look at is to find ways that we can do mitigation in the event that there is some sort of storm activity or event like that we can save lives and property. So if the adoption of this plan does is it puts us in line for funding so that we might be doing tree removal or dune a barrier beach, something that would stop the storm or whatever, or help impede the storm from doing additional property damage or injury to individuals. So once that's adopted, then it puts us in line for money so that we can get drainage or other things that would reduce the hazards that might be out there to property or persons.
Now, this has been on the agenda for a few meetings now. Do you anticipate it will be passed or will be acted upon at tomorrow night's meeting?
We've got 3 or 4 items under old business, and I think that hopefully we'll be able to get right to those and get those through. Originally this was on, we thought there was a timing issue, but fortunately that time was expanded, so we're kind of okay on that.
Great. And again, the workers' compensation item is up for discussion again tomorrow night. And this is rather interesting. This is the town wants to create its own workers' compensation.
Right, become self-insured in effect. We went out to bid, several times to get policies in, and the cost has risen so much that what we're really doing with this is transferring monies we had for a policy and saying we're going to administer our own program. And Mark Milne, the Director of Finance, will be there to explain how the financial matters would work. And there's an item under new business that also talks about creating an intermediary that, so that we might take these two together, and then Bill Cole will be there because Human Resources is naturally very involved. We'll be looking at, what the experience has been, and David Anthony, who's our purchasing agent, and went out with all of the requests to our various insurers to try to, get the policies in place. We'll be there to explain it. So we'll have a team of individuals to look at this and see if the town council wants to take this step, which we think would be a prudent one for the town.
Sure, and it's really, again, all about saving money. I know they did go out and get a couple of quotes from area insurance companies, and as many of us know, the rates for those types of things are going up, so this is just another way the town is trying to save some money.
And we'd still be appropriating a similar sum each year, so that would be going in to build up, and any money that wasn't spent would stay in this fund in the event we have to pay claims and meet our workers' comp obligations.
Sure, so that will be discussed. Anything else interesting we've got going on in old business? Looking at some CPA funds for preservation of the school administration building.
I think for anyone who's driven by Town Hall and looked at the old normal school, the Town Hall now, and seen the roof replacement, the copper gutters, the repointing of the brick, and of course the new windows, sees that we've really protected the envelope of this building. And the school administration building is on the National Historic Register. It's a historic building, and it's having similar sort of water penetration problems. So the hope is to take some monies that were left over from one project and also some new CPA monies, come up with this funding to do windows there and repointing and either roof repair or replacement. We're not sure whether it would take all of that, but I know when we did the bidding on this, we got some very favorable rates, so we're hoping to do the same thing over there and really protect these very historic buildings that are really the cornerstone of our village green and our downtown area.
Right, Tom, and as you said, it's not just aesthetic or cosmetic repairs that are being done. This is, as you said, there's water getting in certain places, and these are old buildings.
I think you walk around into certain offices or even up and down the various stairwells, you can see where the water penetration has, ruined some of the wainscoting that were there and rippled the walls. So that's a future effort where we'll be taking, a quarter at a time and trying to repaint them and fix that up. So.
Sure. So under new business, the first thing I think is going to, we've been talking about the town manager's position for some time now, and they're going to be designating an acting town manager. So what do you anticipate happening tomorrow night?
The town manager will be leaving Town Hall effective September 30th. So come October 1st, they will need in place an interim town manager to conduct the business of the town. I would hope that would be me, but we'll see what what's presented and how they seek to proceed. Under the charter, they can do a 3-month appointment and then one other 3-month appointment before they have to make a permanent appointment for some period of time. Naturally, within this either 6-month period of time or longer period of time, they're going to begin the search for the new town manager. And as we've seen in other communities, that can take well over a year.
Exactly.
And so it'll depend on how they want to put together that search, how quickly they want to move, what the cost implications will be of bringing on an additional salary with the payout that has to go out over the course of the next 18 months. So there'll be several questions, I think, for councils to look at, and I'm sure they'll be looking at numbers as to what each of these options or items might cost. And so I think that'll be a fairly stimulating discussion all the way around.
Definitely, of course, as you mentioned, you are the assistant town manager, and traditionally that is the one that usually steps up to take the place of the town manager in their absence.
Well, and certainly one thing that's been very good about, Town Manager Clem in terms of the way he's interrelated with me and worked with me is there's always been a seat at the table, no matter what, whether it's a budget item or, meeting with various committee chairs or whatever might be out there that we're working on. Well, some projects I did totally, under, his direction. Many of the things we did together. And so being able to, have worked with the budgetary folks, growth management, all those various issues, I feel very competent and confident in being able to run those matters of the town.
Surely, we'll certainly have to see what happens tomorrow night. What else is going to be discussed?
We have a couple of grant acceptances there, one for senior services, where there'd be a funding of a part-time van driver, a very important service, and we get money for that, which is just terrific. And then we have a port security grant that Joe Gibbs has written for Marine Environmental Affairs over the last few years. And this would, again, be Homeland Security money that's coming to the town. It would be to upgrade some of the cameras we have on the port. The Homeland Security likes the fact that we have cameras down there and can monitor that activity, as well as an underwater vehicle that was purchased a few years ago with grant money. And this would help upgrade that. That's used to, do search in the event there might be some sort of security issue, or also to check the viability of the bulkheads and things of that nature. So it's been and we've lent that tool in other searches that other communities around the Cape have had when there's been a drowning or some sort of suspicious activity that they wanted to use that vehicle for. So that operating vehicle for us. So.
Right. Well, I know there's a lot of cameras around town, and it's interesting. Used for so many different purposes. I know the police use them, as you said. Harbor Security uses them. We've also got the webcams too, and so not only do they provide security, but people can check out. Like, say, they want to take their boat down to the harbor, and they want to know if the boat ramp is backed up. Call it up on the internet, check it out. There you go. So
if you go to Blish Point, which fills up, and you might be able to use an alternative ramp, and you look and you say, "Ooh, they're already full." You can just punch it up, look it up, and it is a good consumer tool, I think.
Exactly. So. Well, Tom, thank you so much for filling us in on the always exciting town council agenda, and we will have to tune in tomorrow at 7.
And now I understand that you won't be here on Thursday and Friday. And
I will not,
Saturday,
and the subsequent week.
And that's because you're getting married?
That is true, on Saturday.
And are you still going to be Sarah Colvin when... Will you come back in October, or
we'll have to see? We'll just have to see what happens.
Right,
I guess I may have.
We don't want to confuse our viewers.
Exactly, I may have a brand new name.
Well, congratulations to you.
Well, thank you, Tom, so much. Thank you very much. And again, Town Council meets this Thursday at 7 p.m. right here in Town Hall. You can view it live on Channel 18. All gets underway at 7 p.m. with Barnstable Today. I'm Sarah Colvin.